Good day, hello. This is Miss Maria Lalaine Isha Kain, your science grade 7 teacher. So I am so very happy that we have finally met in this platform, and then I am so happy that I can teach you about the topic that we are going to discuss right now. So our topic is all about the different levels of biological organization, where the content standard of this lesson is the different levels of biological organization. The performance standard of this lesson is to employ appropriate technique using the compound microscope to gather data about very small objects. So through this, we can now study uh, the smallest part of an organism. So the most essential learning competency or the milk of this lesson is to describe the different levels of biological organization from cell to biosphere. So the code of this is S7LT-LLC-3. Okay everyone, please do not forget our online classroom rules. We have to set rules in our class before we start our lesson. This policy, we are going to follow this. This will help us to have a smooth lesson. If you have questions, then these classroom rules will help you. We are going to start this lesson with a classroom prayer.
Let us bow our heads and feel the presence
bow
of
down our
our
head
Lord.
and feel the presence
Lord,
of our
we thank you
Almighty
for
Father.
today's blessings of life and strength, and for this great opportunity to learn and grow. May you bless our hearts with patience and enthusiasm. May you bless our minds with interest and wisdom. Give us the understanding and skills we need so we may gain something from today's class. Bless also our teachers and beloved parents for their unconditional love and support. Above all, heal the world that we live in, and forgive us from all our sins and shortcomings. We humbly ask this in the name of our Christ Savior. Amen.
I will be checking your attendance to see if who is not around in this today. So let me see, let me call in who are absent. I can see that Baricuatro Tertius is absent, and Joanne Nabong is also absent. So out of 53 students, we have 2 absents. Okay, so we're done with checking of our attendance. So let's have a recap of what we have discussed yesterday. Our topic yesterday is all about the organ system and its function. So let's use the alternative response card where you have your correct and incorrect response card. You raise your correct response card if the underlined statement here, the underlined statement, if you think that the underlined statement is correct. Now you raise your incorrect response card if you think the underlined statement is incorrect. So let us start. Number 1. The function of circulatory system is to deliver blood all throughout the body. Is it correct or incorrect? Okay, I can see that you are answering unanimously correct. Now, your answers are all correct. Number 2, when cell is injured, the organism has the difficulty to function properly. Is this correct or incorrect? Okay, good job. So your answer, all of you answers correct response card, which is correct. Now, on the third question, there are 9 organ systems in our body, namely integumentary, circulatory, respiratory, endocrine, lymphatic, nervous, skeletal, muscular, and digestive. So, do we have 9 organ systems? Okay, good. Most of you answered incorrect. We have 13 organ systems. In here, it is not included the reproductive system. Okay, we have the reproductive system. And then we have the, wait, what else? Optical, is it optical system? And then it is also not included there. Many more. So on the fourth question, the function of the kidney is for movement and coordination of the body. Which of the organ in the body that the function is movement and coordination? Yes, so the statement is incorrect. Because the correct answer is yes. If you have answers and I cannot call you, you put your answers on the chat box. Okay? So the answer is okay. Your skeletal system. Next is the nervous system is made up of blood, heart, and blood vessel. So which system in our body is made up of blood, heart, and blood vessel? Yes, so the answer, you have raised your incorrect response card. So the answer is circulatory system. Okay, so let me repeat on our objective. Describe the different levels of biological organization from cell to biosphere. This is coming from the MELC, Most Essential Learning Competency, S7LT-LLC-3. Okay, so we are going to start this lesson with the motivation. So I will give you guys 5 jumbled letters. So you're going to create words out of these jumbled letters. Try to answer. Type your answer on the chat box, okay? Do not forget to type your answers on the chat box. You're given 2 points to each correct answer. This is the first jumbled letter. What do you think is this word? This is the second word. what do you think is the third word? Okay, so this is the last word. What do you think is this word? Okay, time is up. So we have 5 jumbled letters. So the first jumbled letter, the first is, what do you think? What do you think is the answer? The first is, yes, the first is cell. The second one, what do you think is the second one? Okay, good. It is organism. The third one is, okay, population. And then the fourth one is, okay, good job, guys. Good job. It's biosphere. And the last one is organs. So I think you have encountered these words in your elementary years. But in our lesson, we're going to dig more about these words and discuss more about these words. First off is vocabulary. So let us familiarize ourselves with these words first before we discuss on our lesson, or we go to the lesson proper. So we have cell. Cell is the basic building blocks of all living things. Do not worry, I have sent you copies of this in your email address. So just if you want to read more about this later, you can do that by opening up your email. So the second one is tissue. Tissue made up of the same type of cells grouped together to do a specific job. And then we have organ. Organ made up of different tissues that work together to do a job. Okay, we have organ system, a group of organs working together. And then we have organism, complete individual living thing. And then we have population, a particular section, group, or type of people or animals living in an area or country. Okay, we have ecosystem, populations living together in one area. And then we have biosphere, all the ecosystems around the world make up the biosphere. So these are the levels of organization in an organism. So as you observe, that levels of organization is a step-by-step, like a ladderized organization, even in an organism. So from cell to biosphere. Life is organized into 8 levels. We have the first level is cells, followed by the next level is a tissue. The third level is the organ. The fourth level is the organ system. The fifth level is the organism. The sixth level is the population. The seventh level is the ecosystem. And the last level would be the biosphere. So in here, you have the 9 levels of organization in a multicellular organisms. You have first, the cells. Second, the tissue. The third, organs. Fourth level, organ systems. Fifth level, organisms. Sixth level, population. Seventh level, community. Eighth level, ecosystem. And the ninth level is the biosphere. So here are the levels of organization in multicellular organisms. Okay, the cell is the basic unit of structure and function of a living thing. Cells are specialized by size and shape for the job they do. So a cell is the building blocks of life. Without cells, we cannot make an organism. Without cells, we cannot make a tissue. So it is the building blocks. It is the fundamentals of life. Now, based on the shape and the size of the cells, then that is their function. Example, this one. This is an amoeba. So, an amoeba is a one-cell, unicellular cell, and perform the jobs of an organism. This amoeba has a hair-like part of its body, so this is for the movement. No, it is used for the movement. And then we have here the animal cell. So an animal cell and a plant cell is different from each other, though they have mostly the same organelles, but they differ in their function. So there are organelles in animal cells that is not found in plant cells, and there are organelles in plant cell that is not found in animal cells. So the second level of organization is the tissue. What is a tissue? Tissues are made of the same type of cells grouped together to do a specific job. So we have four types of tissues. We have the epithelial tissues, muscle tissues, nervous tissues, and connective tissues. So what is an epithelial tissues? Epithelial tissues refers to a group of cells that cover the exterior surfaces of the body, line internal cavities and passageways, and form certain glands. Example of these are the skin, the epidermis, lining of GI tract organs, and other hollow organs. Now, muscle tissues contracts forcefully when excited, providing movement. Example, cardiac muscle, smooth muscle, skeletal muscle. Nervous tissue is also excitable, allowing for the generation and propagation of electrochemical signals in the form of nerve impulses that communicate between different regions of the body. Example of these are brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Now, the last but not the least is the connective tissue. As its name implies, binds the cell and organs of the body together. Example, fat and other soft padding tissue, bones, tendons. So this pink sponge has only cells, but they are not organized into tissues. So this functions as a one-celled organism. Now this blue man-o-war has tissues but no organs. The third level of organization is an organ. What is an organ? Organs are made up of different tissues that work together to do a job. Example, when cardiac muscles, nerves, and other hollow organs as well as fat grouped together, it forms a heart. So cardiac tissues when grouped together forms a heart. When connective tissues of the bone grouped together, it becomes the organ bone. So that is an example of an organ. We have another here. A heart is an organ made of all four tissues. Now this coral polyp is an organ and a leaf is a plant organ. The next level after organ is an organ system. An organ system is a group of organs working together. Example, Human organ systems include circulatory system, reproductive system, digestive system, nervous system. Plant organ system, roots, stem, leaves is equals to transport system. So we have many kinds of organ systems in our body. That is when organs having of the same function, example, you have the organ of the heart, and then the nervous, the vessels, and then the aorta, all the ugat, then work as one, then that is called an organ system. The next level after organ system is an organism. An organism is the sum of all cells, tissues, organs, and organ systems making it an organism. Example, our body is an example of an organism. Dog is an example of an organism. Fish is another example of organism. A population is the sixth level of organization. It is a group of the same type of organisms all living together in the same place. Example, this is a population. Population of Tambacan, Iligan City. Population of Purok 7. Population of Purok 1. So having the same type of organisms all living together in the same place. Next to population is the ecosystem. An ecosystem are those populations living together in one area. Say for example, we have different populations in Tambacan, Luinab, Hinaplanon, Tambo, Mayahay, and then it is found only in one area, which is in Iligan City. So that is an ecosystem. The last level of organization in an organism is the biosphere. So a biosphere, all the ecosystems around the world made up the biosphere, such as the tundra, the snowy part, the prairie, the mountain area, like that. So they are all an ecosystem. So in general, this song will summarize or generalize our lesson for today.
Here's a way to remember
So you follow, you
levels
get
of
up
organization of life.
and follow
Atoms
the
are the smallest
dance
building block of
of
matter,
the
and they're
song.
like a puffy sphere. Atoms bond together to form molecules. Molecules build cells. One finger is representing a cell. Many cells work together to form tissue. Different types of tissue work together to make an organ, like my whole hand, although my hand's not really whole.
Many cells work together to form tissue.
My arm,
Different types of tissue work together to make an organ, like my whole hand, although my hand's
we're
not
going to
really
include cud to represent the population
My arm is
of
like the
similar species
My
that
whole
live and
body
interact
is an
together. It's our
organism.
population.
We're gonna
And then we're going to
include
point
cud
outside
to
to our
represent the
community
population
and include the birds and the bees and the
similar
flowers and the
species
trees.
that live
We'll
and
sweep
interact together
through
with our
and collect in
population.
all communities
Then we're going to
in
point
the desert
outside
that
to our
we're in.
community.
And then
And
all the
birds and the bees and the flowers and the
ecosystems of the
trees.
world
We'll
form the
sweep
biosphere.
through and collecting all
So here we go. Ready?
desert
Atom,
all
molecule, cell, tissue, organ,
form the biosphere.
organ system, organism,
Ready?
population,
Atom,
community,
cell,
ecosystem, biosphere. One more time. Atom, molecule, cell, tissue, organ, organ system, organism, population, community, ecosystem, biosphere.
organism, population, community, ecosystem, biosphere.
Do you like the song, class? Do you understand more? What are the levels of organization in an organism? If you do, then put thumbs up. Now, we are going to have an activity where you are going to enhance more of what you learn on this lesson. So activity 1, we have identify and arrange me. The direction of this is to identify the levels of biological organization portrayed in each picture and arrange it using numbers 1 to 9. 1 being the smallest level and 9 being the biggest level of organization. Write your answer on the space provided, and I have put on the Google Docs on the chat box. So kindly click on the chat box and there is the link for activity 1, identify and arrange me. So you write your answer on the space provided in the table. So the first part of the activity is done for you. Okay, so we are done with our activity number 1. So, what can you say on that activity? Is it easy? Is it fun? Do you understand more what is the levels of organization in an organism? Great, very great. So let us proceed to our activity number 2. Just say no. Now this time, you're going to describe how a certain disease affect the different levels of biological organization through a picture form from the internet. Paste the picture on the space provided. Still, I have put activity number 2 on the chat box. So there's a link there. You just click it and then you answer. So paste the picture on the space provided. Then beside each picture, tell how this certain type of ailment in the different levels of biological organization can be avoided. A rubric is used in grading you in this activity. So the rubric also, I have put the link of the rubric on the chat box. So please look it up. Please look it up. Okay, so what you're going to do, as you already know that we are in a pandemic right now, so how are we going to avoid COVID-19? No? How can we avoid it? How does it affect the different levels of biological organization? So you are going to look pictures in the internet. If you do not like to use COVID-19 as the ailment, you can use different ailments. Say for example HIV, STI, or you can also use the usual ailment such as hypertension, diabetes. How does this affect the different levels of biological organization? So use a picture, okay? And then, how can we avoid it? Remember, there is a rubric that will be followed for your grading, in grading your activity. Okay, so we are done with activity 1 and 2. Let us proceed to assessment. So I have a 10 item that you're going to answer in assessment. So there's a link there. You're going to write your answer before the number. There's a link provided in your chat box for the assessment. Kindly answer it. Please make sure that you're going to write your answer before the number. Are you finished answering our assessment? Can we proceed now on our assignment? Great, great. I think you are done. Okay, so let us proceed to our assignment. Now, our assignment is to make a reflection on if one of your relatives or friends is infected with COVID-19 or any disease. How will you help them in order to minimize or prevent the spread of this disease? You're going to write this in a Google Docs form where you're going to explain your answer, no? Because you're going to reflect how is it your relatives or your family is infected with the COVID? What have you experienced so far? What are your struggles? How did you manage it? How did you, are you cured right now? So how did you get cured? What are the medications that you have taken? So the second question, how will you help them in order to minimize or prevent the spread of this disease? How are you going to minimize the spread or to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in your family? How are you going to protect your family? What are the means and ways to protect your family on this virus? So you're going to pass that because the deadline of our assignment is on Saturday, which is tomorrow. So kindly pass it before 12 noon. Do not forget, pass your assignment tomorrow before 12 noon. So see you. Bye.